Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alvin here. Today we are going to talk about side incomes or side jobs. Before you even start on it, like for me, if you know me through my previous videos and you're a returning viewer, I welcome you back. And if you are new to my channel, I welcome you all the same. First up is I'm not glamorizing my 4 side incomes streams. I not doing that in any of my videos. Far from it. It's because of my circumstances that led me this path. That's why I don't have a full-time job. Then I'm pursuing all these side incomes. From me to you, I would urge you to keep your job in this day and age. This market is a little bit iffy. That one I won't go into details, but considering this, that the market is volatile, I did a video about layoffs and everything. So I'm expecting the economy to, plateau or even worsen down the road. Having said that, if you're actually thinking of pursuing a side income, be it because you think that you got not enough money, you think that want to get out of the rat race of 9 to 5, which again, that one you have to keep your full-time job first because keeping it that first and then pursuing it will be far better than quitting and doing the full-time. Again, because my case is a bit special. That one I addressed it in this video. You might want to click on this video. And of course, the other thing is to supplement your income on top of whatever you have. Or even, you already have one side income plus your full-time job and then you want to do another one, which that one you're a go-getter. I'll put it to you. Before you even do any of it, I would urge you, and I really, really want to ask you to do this before you do anything, is to look at your expenses. Basically, to find whatever you're earning, basically your fixed income, your full-time pay, how much is coming in, and your expenses, whatever you're spending going out. The reason I tell you this is back in the day when I actually have a job, a full-time job, I wasn't doing this. And then I was spending like crazy all over the place, be it buying into CD albums back in the day, buying into games, and of course, buying into all sorts of knickknacks that I won't go into details. I'll do that in another video. Lucky that I have toys to sell down. And of course, I was paying off everything on my credit card. I wasn't in consumer debt. Basically, I did not roll over any of my credits. For you, again, because this is personal, I'm not going to touch upon that. Whatever you spend is your own personal business. But I will urge you to do a budget. A budget does not mean that you limit yourself in spending. Far from it. It's to actually look at whatever's coming in again and whatever is going out. Net, if it's zero, you are actually in a safe space. If net is negative, means something's got to give. Correct? And if of course it's positive, it's even better than the other first two. Budget is to set aside the different categories of amount to each category, which is your non-negotiables and your negotiables. When I say non-negotiables, means basically anything that you have to pay off. Like, for instance, your biggest expense would most likely be either your housing loan or your rental. Housing loan in Singapore, if you're under the HDB loan, then it's not so bad. It's paid by CPF. Which, if you're under a fixed income, full-time pay is taken care of, so to speak. But if you're renting, you might want to look into it that if you're renting at a very expensive place, you might want to consider moving out to lower your expense. Because Singapore is so small. That one I will advocate. Why are you even staying in such a very expensive space where everything is expensive surroundingly? And you, again, that one I digress. Look into it, and that's your non-negotiable. And of course, there's your car loan. If you have a car, I want to look into that also. Your food and your transport. If you don't have a car, transport will mean whether you're taking the bus or the train, or you're actually taking Grab or all those taxi services, I'll call them. Those will eat up into your expenses. Take a look at them. And if you can afford them, good for you. But you can lower them. Like, for instance, why not take the public transport, wake up early and then take the public transport rather than taking Grab every day? Or maybe sell your car. It's a suggestion. I'm not saying you should sell your car or get a cheaper car. But in Singapore context, it's a little bit difficult because of the COE. But maybe sell a car, get Grab for your family, which I think is still cheaper, than actually affording a car. But of course, if the luxury of owning a car far exceeds getting the Grab itself, then again, and if your lifestyle affords it, go for it. That's why you need to do a budget. There comes your negotiables. I would say food is half and half, because food is more like if you're eating out rather than staying in, buying groceries to cook at home, or even eating at a hawker center. For the life of me, I'm 40 years old. Ever since I've eaten hawker centers, I never thought once that hawker centers was limiting myself, cheapening myself when I eat hawker food or food court food for that matter. But the youth of today think that eating out, you have to eat at the restaurants, you have to eat at the cafes. That one, I don't know, is it a mindset change? But maybe look into it, because you definitely can save a lot if you eat a cheaper alternative. If your lifestyle can afford it, go for it. But again, do the budget. The budget is the one that will determine having it good, with your expenses and your income. Budgeting comes in many forms. You can actually use the Excel sheet. You can use a budgeting app, Do the budget. Figure out what is your needs and wants. Your wants is the one that actually will exponentially make you buy into things more. Buying into expensive food, or you are buying into expensive clothes, games. There are so many ways to save money on that. The very first and foremost is look into your budget. Every line item in your credit card, everything, you have to do it out. If you're not done so, it takes time to do it. I know, because I actually hunkered down for 1 whole year to do it. You have to have some resolve to do the budget. It's not easy. It's coming from someone who has never done a budget for a whole 30 plus years of my life. Budgeting has made a world of a difference for me when I have these side incomes. If I had a fixed income job and I have a budget, you would think that it would be even much better, correct? So I will urge you to do the budget. Budgeting is not limiting yourself. Budgeting is freeing yourself when it comes to your finances. So do that. Okay? With that in mind, now comes the side income part. Side incomes in Singapore, there's a lot. Quite a bit actually. You can do anything under the sun, and it can be your side job or side income. I won't go into much detail on all the various side incomes. It can be tuitioning, it can be Grab food, it can be delivery service. You can even do taxi, because right now even ComfortDelGro also allows you to do part-time as a taxi driver. When it comes to side income jobs, one thing I will urge you is to lower your ego. When I say lowering your ego, means that if you can lower your expectations, be more humble for it, it makes a world of difference when you're doing these income streams, these side incomes. Because for me, partly because I'm from the retail sector, retail is something that is kind of frowned upon. How do I know? Because before I actually started doing this pick and pack job for my friend, I was actually doing part-time for another pick and pack job, and also, of course, another retail job part-time with quite a big retail company who specializes in crockeries and knickknacks and lifestyle products. I was overseeing a shop. Even as a part-timer, I was overseeing a shop, with keys and everything that I was handed to. And there was this customer was asking me, we did had a chit chat, and then he was asking me why am I working in retail? Because looking at me, I think he knows I'm about a bit of age compared to the young ones that were selling on the retail floor or doing barista work, or the younger people, I'll call them. And then I just tell them that I've done retail for a while, and of course this was also during the COVID period, where I lost my job again, I mentioned. So that triggered a conversation between me and her. And then she was technically in the computer space, so I roughly knew that she was doing well because computers were selling through the roof, and then she was, looking at her, you definitely know that she's doing okay. What I'm trying to say is, as you age, or you knew better that comparison is the thief of joy. This topic I will touch upon maybe in another video, but what I'm trying to summarize is, if you compare yourself with others, you're never going to go anywhere, because that is a hellhole that you'll spiral down the path of no return. Comparison does not do you any good. When you've done the budget and then you need the income, you definitely will do the job. That's a given. But to do the job willingly or unwillingly will also hamper your success in life. Because for me, I did the budget, I know my lifestyle, I know what's at stake. I'm not very well educated, that's a fact. I know my skill set, and the fact that it's within my control to figure out my own lifestyle choice. So when this conversation had, yes, it did impact me a little, because again, comparison, when you look at it, you will feel something. But you take a deep breath and then you realize that it's just all human. Every aspect of human, every aspect of life, different challenges comes your way. You just have to go head on and do it. For me, to you, if you are looking for a side income, there's a lot of jobs out there. You can even do fast food, I've seen, many of them doing various jobs. And then, of course, if you look hard enough, there are very unique jobs that you can do also. For me, I've come to realize that pick and pack, there's so many places that you can do. People have on the comments that ask me, where can I find this TikTok pick and pack work? This one, you might want to try job sites. I've not done the due diligence to figure out where is it, because again, this job was, through a friend. So you can even ask your friend. When I say you have to come to a realization what you're good at and what you're bad at, and then if your friend is doing better than you can always ask to see what help he needs. Be humble. Your ego, bring down your ego, and then you can live life better. I'm actually working for my friend's wife, who is a TikTok seller, who's doing, in the eyes of society, is doing better than me. I'm working for my friend. Hear that out. I'm working for my friend that is doing far better than me in the eyes of society. When Josh Tan, who interviewed me, he's the same age as me. You would think in the society, looking at it, he's done better than me, so to speak. But I don't look at it that way at all, to be very honest. I've already come to terms with it that I'm happy at where I am at my juncture. You have to think about it that way before you embark on any side income. Then, only then, you can figure out what your life journey will go as it is. Your full-time job, you have to stick to it for now. I'll be very honest, because of the economy. Do the side income. Figure out which side incomes that you can be doing it passionately. For me, I've never done Grab. Because I can share with you why I don't do it. Is because I don't see the value in it. Because I myself don't even use Grab. Much to say that all the people that are working as delivery drivers, delivery food drivers, anything, Lala Move or anything. I salute you all. But you're not my customer because I am not buying into it. So I will not work for this kind of job. Retail in Singapore Singapore is a consumeristic society. Everybody will buy into things. I know that for a fact, even though I myself am buying less into it nowadays. But I know what's at stake, that buying and selling stuff can make you money. So if you are good at live selling, go for it. If you're good at finding things to sell as a product, go for it. All these can be side incomes. You just have to look hard enough and figure out what it is. So doing the budget first, figuring out what is your expenses, will make you far happier when you're doing your side incomes, be it anything and everything. So there lies the issue. You have to go forth and do the side income first. For me, before I settled on these 4 incomes, and God knows down the road in future what I will do later, I might even change up any of these income streams, and then you'll be updated on this very channel. I had to go through again a few variations of this income. I was doing part-time again in retail and everything. So what I'm trying to say is you have to find the various side incomes. You have to do it, and see whether it works. The time that you have, you can definitely do it. I'm doing 4. My life is way happier now. For you, finding that side income may be a challenge because of your fixed income. But I have heard of people, doing it on weekends, and they're happy for it. So yeah, you have to lower your ego when it comes to doing it, because only then you will realize that it's doable, and you can find a job or something that you can rely on. And then whether it can, substitute your 9 to 5 or, supplement it, you have to just do it. This video is just me telling you that I'm not glamorizing side incomes, far from it. If you have your fixed pay, fixed income, and then you did your budget and you don't need to do the side income, even better, to be very honest. Then you can save and invest. People have done it before without doing any side income, without doing the hustle, so to speak. You don't need to do that if you can budget it out. Lowering your expenses, and then, after which, hunkering down and doing your fixed income pay is the norm actually. Side income jobs is something that you shouldn't really be glamorizing it. But then again, if to do all that with the idea that you're happily doing it without any stress from the expenses that you're incurring, will be far greater on your mindset. And then changing that mindset is the key to living a happy life going forward. I hope it's not too chim or not too difficult for you to understand. And I thank you so much for watching down all the way to this end of this video. If you're stuck to this end of this video, maybe just say you can comment, budget. Then at least I know that you stuck around to that long. Take care, everyone. I'll see you when I see you in my next video. Bye bye.